Listen closely, war is not an epic tale of heroes. It is the most brutal and cynical business in history. Generals don't think in terms of heroic deeds. They think in budgets, depreciation, and unit cost. And today we are going to expose this dark accounting. We will calculate the checklists of empires. We will convert ancient denarii into cows, cows into gold, and gold into modern dollars. A Roman legionary, a knight in Milanese plate armor, Napoleon's infantryman, and an elite modern special operator. Watch until the end, and you will understand the terrifying mathematics of death. Why 1,000 years of evolving military budgets has, right before our eyes, ended in complete bankruptcy. First century, the Roman Empire. Forget about the testudo formation. Rome dominated because it was the first to turn killing into a factory assembly line. Before the reforms, the army was a mob of militiamen. You fought in whatever you could afford to buy, but then the state monopolized death and introduced rigid military standards. Let's calculate the baseline. The Larica segmentata plate armor, a helmet, the Scutum tower shield, and a gladius sword. This entire iron capsule cost the empire's treasury a mere 100 denarii. What is 100 denarii? We won't calculate it in silver. Inflation will destroy the logic. We count in meat. Let's use the cow index as our baseline. Back then, 100 denarii could buy 3 good cows. Today, 3 cows are roughly $6,000 to $7,000. The price of a legionary was equal to the price of an old, used Toyota. And it was a brilliant financial model. Roman logistics stamped out shields by the hundreds of thousands. If barbarians slaughtered an entire legion in the forests of Germany, the empire's economy didn't even flinch. The Senate simply wrote off the losses, called the contractors, and ordered a new fleet. The legionary was the perfect, cheap, replaceable consumable. But wait, do you think Rome gifted this armor to its soldiers? Think again. The empire invented a blood cashback system. The cost of the armor, the sword, the food, and even the tent pegs was meticulously deducted from the soldiers' pay by the legion's accountants. The state financed death on credit. Survive, and you pay it off. And to make the investment last longer, Rome built valetudinaria, military hospitals. Not out of humanism. It was simply cheaper to repair a wounded Toyota than to assemble a new one from scratch. Cheap, pragmatic, deadly. But the system failed. The empire collapsed. The factories stopped. And the assembly line of death was replaced by an elite boutique. 14th century, state armies are no more. The era of military oligarchy has arrived. A knight is no longer a soldier. He is a walking banquet hall, encased in Milanese steel. Every armor plate was forged over months to fit the lord's exact anatomy. The weight was distributed so perfectly that you could jump inside this human safe, and this masterpiece of metallurgy cost 50 gold crowns. Let's compare that to the market. The annual income of a free peasant was £2. A knight's iron shirt cost the equivalent of 25 years of a commoner's grueling labor. But armor doesn't work without an engine. The war horse, the destrier. This genetic machine, capable of carrying 150 kilograms of iron at a full gallop, cost as much as a herd of 20 ordinary horses, and a knight never fought alone. The basic combat unit of the Middle Ages was the lance. The lord himself, a couple of mounted archers, squires, and servants. It was a private military company funded entirely from the feudal lord's pocket. To send a son to war, a family would take out a medieval mortgage, pawning their castles and villages. Let's talk dollars. The gear, the horse, and the retinue equaled 3.5 kilograms of pure gold. In 2026 money, that's nearly $300,000. An elite sports car, or a luxury apartment, right there on the battlefield, knee-deep in blood and mud. Would you drive your sports car into a brick wall? No, and neither did they. This insane capitalization broke the very essence of war. Killing a $300,000 unit became an economic taboo. Nightly battles turned into armed racketeering, a business of capturing elite hostages. To skewer an enemy with a lance meant burning money. To stun him, take him prisoner, and milk his family for a ransom. That was the true victory. Economics dictated the rules of knightly honor. They didn't kill each other. They did business on each other. 18th century, the elite clubs closed. Gunpowder, bayonets, and absolute monarchies enter the game. War once again becomes a state monopoly. To field armies of 500,000 bayonets, Napoleon and his enemies had to forget about knights. War returned to the mass market of Rome. but with one fatal caveat. The ultimate argument on the battlefield is the flintlock musket, and it cost a pathetic 15 thalers. By the cow index, that is half a carcass. Cheaper than dirt. The state stamped out peasants with guns by the millions. But the devil was in the consumables. Iron became cheaper, but the cost of the process skyrocketed. Gunpowder, lead, cast iron. In the Battle of Leipzig alone, artillery spat out 200,000 cannonballs, and the infantry fired millions of bullets. A single day of heavy artillery fire burned through the annual budgets of entire provinces. The infantryman became a cheap printer, but his cartridges cost a fortune. And then emerged another bottomless expense: psychological hardwiring. Yesterday's peasant with a gun will break formation after the first cannonball strike. For infantry to stand firm under grape shot and fire 3 rounds a minute like robots, they had to be broken and drilled for years. The human being was devalued. He became nothing more than a cheap leather sack for delivering expensive lead. 21st century. Technology has shattered the financial ceiling. Today, basic infantry is relatively cheap. But when we look at the elite, Navy SEALs, or Special Operations Forces, the numbers will blow your mind. Let's pull the receipt. The basic kit: a ballistic helmet with an active headset, $4,000. Panoramic night vision goggles. The 4 eyes, $50,000. You are wearing the price of a small apartment on your head, just to see in the dark. A military-grade encrypted radio, $15,000. An assault rifle with a smart optic that automatically calculates ballistics, spin drift, and wind, $20,000. Plus ceramic plates, thermals, tourniquets, $150,000 just for this guy to walk out of the barracks. Half the cost of a medieval knight. But the hardware is dust. The real expense is the software in his head. Do you know why training a single operator costs $1.5 million? Because you are paying for the ones who broke. Out of 100 recruits, only 10 survived the hellish selection process. But the state burned the aviation fuel, millions of rounds of ammo, and instructor's time on all 100. You are paying for a 90% failure rate, just to get 10% of perfect cyborgs. And this cyborg never fights alone. For him to pull the trigger, an orbital constellation of communication satellites must hang above him. A headquarters of analysts is working, reconnaissance drones are flying, and if he catches a piece of shrapnel, a medevac helicopter flies out to get him. A single flight under the golden hour medical evacuation protocol burns through hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, an elite soldier is a walking transnational corporation. We have witnessed the evolution from 100 denarii to millions of dollars for a single human unit. Armies have grown compact. Every specialist is guarded like a bar of solid gold. But right now, we are watching the collapse of this entire system. A fatal error in the mathematics. Today, this entire $1.5 million investment portfolio, wrapped in titanium, Kevlar, and encrypted comms, can be instantly reduced to zero. It will be wiped out by a piece of plastic with 4 propellers, slapped together from cheap parts in a garage, with an old RPG warhead duct taped to the bottom, and this piece of plastic costs $500. $500, the price of an ancient gladius, deployed against a modern corporation. The circle is complete. The era of expensive pageantry is dying. The ruthless, cheap, assembly line mass market of death has returned to the battlefield, and the only one who survives is the one whose printers can churn out drones faster.